Are LA men more marriage-minded than the rest? Let's find out what these brothers have to say about ultimate commitment when it comes to relationships.
To be head of the household / husband basically means, you got to be a provider.
As a race, our revolution is very polluted and diluted.
It's more fashionable nowadays to be a divorcee than to be a wife.
A lot of people are kind of going against the grain when it comes to marriage.
We want to get married. It's in our psyche, but the question is when.
Is marriage still important?
In this day and age, I feel like there's so many things out there for single people, from Tinder to social media, that no one's really trying to settle down and just get married and really be with somebody for the rest of their life. I mean, it does hold a lot of significance, but everybody thinks differently, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I definitely agree, to each his own, but I feel like marriage is still important, even from a young age, because of just because of media, social media. Marriage is actually, in a way, trending right now. You have your celebrities, Beyonce, Jay-Z. You have all of these celebrities that are hooking up and making marriage, in a sense, cool. And you would see a lot of young women on Instagram or Facebook repost pictures of these people in their relationships and how happy they are, and that's what they kind of seek now. So I feel like that is still important.
Kind of piggyback off of what you were saying, I think that, yes, marriage is kind of popular, like the in-style thing to do, but then again, so is divorce. I think it's more fashionable nowadays to be a divorcee than to be a wife or to be a husband.
I mean, I feel like that's because we got so many options out here, like nobody wants to stay with the same person.
Yeah.
Not like 50 years ago where it's like, okay, we're gonna get married, we're gonna be stuck together forever, because I can't go on Facebook and see some bad looking woman, with, big breasts and a fat ass and be like, okay, I'm going over there. Now, it's just like, I could go wherever I want and see whoever I want and get tempted to do something else. Like, you know what, this isn't who I want anymore. So, too many temptations is what I'm trying to say.
I think at the end of the day, marriage is a state of mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to want to be married. I mean, you're as guys, we spend our lives. I mean, even a married guy. You're married. You're still gonna look at women. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like, am I ready to be married? Am I ready to, give my life to this one lady, this one female for the rest of my life? So I think that's what it really boils down to. Is like, is this it? Is this the person that I want to be with for the rest of my life? Because we're always gonna look. We're always gonna want to not be married, but you have to really do it for what you want in life. Do you want a family? Is this something that you want to do? Do you want to be able to raise your kids and have grandkids and things like that? Because some men, I'm not speaking, I don't know about y'all, but some men don't want that, So it's just like, what do you want in your life?
Why do you think people are gravitating more towards cohabitation than marriage?
Oh man, this is I think
oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, spit it out, man.
My girlfriend of 3 years, long distance relationship for 3 years. She actually just moved. She actually just moved out to LA to make it official. And
tough man.
Yeah, I know. I think that's a conversation that we had. Should we cohabitate? Like, should we live together, or should we actually, should she get her own apartment? Should I, just remain in my own apartment? And she actually came up with the idea, or what was right for her was to get her own apartment while she's out here. It doesn't mean she doesn't love me as much or anything like that, but she thinks that living together is something that is better, after marriage. And me, the guy in me is like, yo, you trying to save money on this rent or no?
Definitely.
Right, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I understand where she was coming from. Like, I'm like, yeah, that is true. Like, maybe we should wait till we get married, because I can understand the thought process behind, okay, let's get a chance to, see how we are apart from each other instead of staying together all the time.
Y'all paying two separate rents for that.
Yeah, I know. See, that's what I'm saying.
Because to coexist with one another that's to have the deepest understanding, the deepest comprehension, and to just be able to compromise,
Yeah.
And a lot of people aren't able to just dig into that initially. They'll just hear it and go, off of that first green light versus looking both ways before they cross that street.
Yeah, I think you, Corn, you're coming from a unique situation because you were already in a relationship and you guys are just coming in together like that.
Yeah.
But I think that before marriage, there should be some time lived together just to know,
I think so,
balance
too,
that
yeah.
chemistry
Yeah,
out
yeah.
with each other in
Right.
that
And
environment.
it's like what we were talking about earlier. You know, you could have some pet peeves, stuff that you don't like from your partner, and then you don't really see it, or it doesn't become apparent
Visible,
until
yeah.
you live with that person. It's like, oh man, you leave your clothes on the floor. You know, you try to get a system in place, and you realize, oh, they're not trying to work with me on that. You know, we gotta. You know, so I think it is good to cohabitate. I think it is.
You need to at
Yeah.
least live together with someone for at least a year.
Yeah.
Figure out what's going on with her.
Yeah.
Figure out exactly how it's working. Is this going to work for me? Is it not going to work for me? And if she passes that test for a year, hey man, put a ring on it.
Yeah, I mean, we have like had situations where like we've lived together. Like, you know, for example, she came out here for a whole semester and did some classes at USC. So she was living with me while she was here for that like 6 months. So we have lived together, but you know, I'm just like, I mean, if you want to, you know, wait till marriage, I think it's almost. I don't want to make it seem like it's the same thing as sex, but I do kind of want to test drive the living situation before I actually get into a situation where I'm like.
Now, I don't want to put you on blast, but I don't see any engagement ring on you. Are you guys?
So now I gotta be married. No.
Are you at least engaged?
I mean, we do what we do. We you know.
You got him over here talking.
I know. So now I gotta talk. We're happy.
Okay.
Are most black men marriage minded?
I think we are marriage minded, but men are a little more methodical or systematic in their thinking and in their way of life. You know, whereas women tend to be more emotionally driven. It's like, I like them, let's do this. Men are like, hold on, I got some other stuff I need to take care of first, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that especially with men, they need some time to, you know, graze the field or sow the royal oats,
And,
you know, before they take that step.
and another, just to kind of piggyback on what I was saying earlier about the social media, I feel like a lot of the guys, even in my age bracket or generation younger, it's the trend in rap to fuck bitches, get money, and then you're peer pressured by the guys that you come up with, and it's like, hey, you're not supposed to have no feelings, you know that, and that's the trend.
I think it depends on where you're from, in a sense of like what your upbringing. Because I know a lot of my friends, I grew up in the hood, but I went to college, so that's two different sides. You know what I'm saying? So like most of my friends who live in the hood, I wouldn't say they're not marriage minded. I think that they're more so trying to survive. You know what I'm saying? Put food on the table. Some of them already have kids, so they're like okay with what they already have. You know what I'm saying? So they don't see a need to really want to get married. You know what I'm saying? And then most of my friends who I went to college with, my fraternity brothers, is more so like, yeah, I mean, we want to get married. It's in our psyche, but the question is when. It's like, am I ready to get married? Am I ready to, like we were talking about earlier, let that be it? Because like you were saying earlier, Jarrell, I mean, the access to women and just everything is so easy. It's like, am I ready to settle down for this one person for the rest of my life when I can have all these different type of women whenever I want to?
When is it time for a man to become faithful?
For me, what made me become faithful after the last girlfriend I cheated on was that I realized that at which point I had a girlfriend that I really loved. I mean, she was amazing. She was a great woman. And I cheated on her with my ex-girlfriend, and I lost her. So I vowed to like never cheat on my girlfriend ever again, because I knew how I felt when I lost something that, I mean, she was, what was that? Oh yeah. No. I never wanted to cheat because I just realized like when you have something so good, somebody that's like really doing so much for you, sacrificing so much, it's like, how could I treat her like that? Or how could I be, so bad to her? I mean, there are those situations where, you get put in a position where it's like Saturday night and, you drunk and somebody's bad. I mean, how do you, are you ready for, you know what I'm saying? So,
Keep yourself out of them situations.
it's like, are your morals strong enough for you to say?
Exactly, it's the
this
will.
I got a question for my man over here. All right, so just as we were saying, like a friend of mine,
Friend of yours.
he's I ain't gonna say his name, but he's like I said, he's kind of in that phase where he wants to get married, but he still wants to kind of do his thing, and he's like, I don't know if I need to stop before I get married, before it may lapse over into that. How's that transition been for you, as a married man?
I honestly think that before you get married, you know, you're with your girlfriend for X amount of years. I don't know. Shit happens, you know? Like, you go out with your boys and, you know, you might be in a position where there's like a bad girl right in front of you. What do?
Yeah.
You're not married. You might flirt a little bit. Who knows? Some guys take it to the extreme. You might take her home. This might happen, X, Y, Z. Once you're married, if you're put in that position, that's it. You got to walk away. You got to turn the other cheek.
For sure.
You shouldn't even be in that position, number one. But, you know, it's going to happen because you're going to have those single friends that's still going to be your boy. You know, can't leave this dude alone. That's still my boy. We're going to hang out. Hey, man, you want to play wingman for you? All right, cool. I got you. All right, cool. But I feel like you just got to get everything out of your system before you're married, man. If you feel like you didn't get everything out, don't get married. You're just wasting your time, man.
When you're married, do you have to stop being out in the club?
No.
Heck no.
I think you have to choose your friends and your experiences wisely. Like, I mean, personally, I've never been to a strip club. What? I know. I know. Did I just lose my main card? Okay. I've never been to a strip club.
What?
So hopefully my boys, you know, when I get, you know, under the marriage level, I might go to strip club. No, but I will say that there's certain things that you don't do. Like, you know, I mean, I'm not gonna go to the strip club when I'm married because, I mean, personally, I don't think there's a reason for me to go. I mean, my wife is going to be all the entertainment that I need.
If you're going with people that are single and they don't necessarily respect your relationship, they might entice you or pursue you to, you know, do something out of line, you know? And they might not see it as disrespect. They might just see it as a good time, but that's...
strong-minded, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, my girl, she don't mind. We you know, there's been times we have went to the strip club. Wait, did we go?
You
I don't
went.
know. Yeah, we went. But, let me not think. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. We cool. You know, and then too, I don't, you know, do anything that would have her feeling some kind of way. I don't, you know, cross the line and throw too many ones out, or you know what I'm saying. Like we just go there to really have fun.
I think
20.
That's one too many ones.
Stop.
I think life is all about having fun.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna be that type of guy, that type of dad that's like when my son is 21, I'm in the club with him. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I feel like, you know, I mean, it's amongst the relationship. You know, if you have that kind of relationship where like, you know, hey, let's go out to the club together, or you know, hey, babe, it's cool if you go out with your friends.
Oh yeah, I'm all for that.
Do what you do. But I think there is a certain level of like you were saying, your friendships. I mean, like, you know, what kind of guys are you hanging around with? Like, I mean, if they are single, like, do they respect that you are in a relationship? Or, I mean, of course, you have to respect it, but they should know not to put you in situations like where you're like, dang, man, you know I got a girl. You know what I'm saying?
So the trust factor, man. You trust your woman to go to the club. She's not gonna dance with nobody.
Yeah.
Somebody try to talk to her because that will happen.
Oh, yeah.
She's just
Always.
gonna brush them off.
Man.
Go ahead, have fun. You know.
Yeah.
You trust me to go to the club and do what I gotta do at the club, have fun. As a guy, you know, when you're single, you go into the club to really get girls.
Exactly.
But when you're married or you're in a heavy relationship and you go with your boys, you're just gonna grab a drink, you're gonna stay posted by the wall, and you're gonna bob your head for like a good 2 hours, then you're gonna leave.
That's true.
And that's it.
That's true.
So to answer the question, trust is the key to that.
Trust is the key.
Trust.
You trust me to go and not do anything?
To bring it home, trust is the key. Thanks, Glenn.
Is it acceptable to go on a date while you're separated?
We're moving towards a divorce. Why am I still worried about you? Like, we're gonna get divorced. Let me date.
Yeah.
You know?
Take my mind off of you.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the relationship can still be saved though at that time? I mean, you're going through a divorce, but it's like it might be a little one-sided. You know, it's like maybe. Would you be mad if she started dating and you still want to work the relationship out?
I think if divorce comes up, then
It's pretty serious.
it's pretty serious.
Exactly.
You know, people usually say divorce because, you know, you cheat or because they're not happy. If you say divorce, then you're not 100% happy. And if you're not 100% happy, why am I going to stay with you for the rest of my life?
Yeah, regardless if it's one-sided, I feel at that point when divorce is introduced, then it's pretty much you're gonna have to let this go. You can't win them all, you know, because it takes two.
Yeah.
And if one wheel is not turning, that car is not gonna go anywhere.
Right. I think it depends on where you are in that marriage. Like if you have kids, you know, you have to approach that in a way that's like, you know, with your kids in mind. Like, you know, you can't just go out, you know, dating someone else.
Definitely.
And, you know, mom's wondering why, you know, or the kids are wondering why mom has another guy in the house, you know, when dad's not there. So, you know, I think that's something that has to be thought about, you know, like.
The age of the children is
Yeah. Like, how am I going to introduce this whole idea of, like, you know, me and mom are not working out, now, you know, dad has to find somebody else that he can love, you know, the same way he loved your mom. Or, you know, it's just that mindset that you have to think about. Like, at what point do I kind of say, okay, is 2 years enough? Is 3 years enough? I mean, because, I mean, divorces take time, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it could take up to 5 years or something like that.
It's a lot of different variables.
Yeah.
So if you're failing to plan that out, then you're planning to fail.
Exactly, yeah. So hopefully from now on, there will be no more divorces, but of course, that's not, I mean, that's not realistic.
Divorce is too common these days.
Yeah, too common, sadly too common.
Nobody's happy.
Yeah.
Too many options.
That's what's up, though.